So I'm very pleased to introduce our guest speaker today, Dr. Justin Balko, who has an array of very impressive titles in his early career. He's currently an assistant professor of medicine and cancer biology, and he leads the molecular oncology team at the Center for Cancer Therapeutics at Vanderbilt University in the great city of Nashville, Tennessee. So Dr. Balko, are you ready to take it forward?
Hey, I am. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about, why I chose to do breast cancer research, just a minute or two, just so you get a little bit of a background on me. So actually, it took me quite a while, but once I was in the field of cancer research, I remembered that I actually had the goal of being a cancer researcher at a very young age. I was always a little bit of a problem solver, so I was excited by the challenge of something that other people said you couldn't do, or if my sister lost something in the yard, I thought that I could find it, and so I always considered myself somewhat of a problem solver, and obviously cancer is a very big problem. It was also very enticing to me because there's a lot of experts in the field. There's a lot of, you see it all over the news as a kid, cancer, what's happening in cancer research, what's happening, in new technologies. And I sort of felt like the kid and the sword and the stone, right? So many people are trying to draw, this sword out to cure cancer in some respect. And so I was probably a little bit of a cocky kid, and I thought that, well, I'm going to march right up to that stone and pull it out. And so I actually left this for a little while. As a teenager, I got interested in other things. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to, have my own band or maybe make a lot of money or whatever. But ultimately, I think my childhood goals kind of came back to me whenever I was an adult. And I kind of got led down this path of first starting to do research and then starting to focus on oncology, and then furthermore focusing in breast cancer research. And well, why after all of those things, why after I chose cancer research did I choose breast cancer research? Well, there's a lot of opportunity, and I think, this is really in part due, to the fundraising activities of Komen and all the participants that help and get together and able to organize. Because as you may hear on the news, the funding environment for research is at a low for a number of different reasons. There's a lot more people doing research, there's a lot more areas of research, but also, just in general, the budgeting and funding is low. And so because of private organizations and because of, participants and donors such as yourself, these are what draw people into the field because there's opportunity there. There was also a little bit of opportunity in the fact that breast cancer was sort of a half-solved field. There was this notion of breast cancer kind of being on the run, and I show this in a plot on the right side of the slide, kind of showing incidence or ratio of deaths, mortality, to the number of patients that get breast cancer each year, and you can see that it's declining substantially, and this is very very dependent on the very groundbreaking research of others who have come before and are currently in the field. Unfortunately, I'm still a little bit cocky, so I still really think that we can make a serious contribution to this and continue this downward trend even further. What did all this lead to? Well, support that I got from Susan G. Komen, both as what's called a postdoctoral fellowship and during my time as an assistant professor here at Vanderbilt, was the seeding of an independent research program. So when funds are administered to those of us in the research community, they don't just go to us, and they don't just go to pipettes and test tubes and things like that. They actually go to the training of the next sort of generation of scientists, the people that are going to come after us. And that's why I have independent start here, because if I had my own lab but I didn't have other people that I was training and mentoring that were benefiting from these sorts of activities and funds, then really the research would stop right there. But so it's not just an impact to one person; it's an impact to sort of many people across the field, and including those of us that were training in our lab.